Hey, welcome to Sports Talk with John and John. I'm the Shark. We got Pops
Hi.
and we got
Yeah,
John.
yeah, you know what it is. Like, cut the formality. Let's get into it, Mike. Let's
listen,
that's
listen.
round one.
All right, round one. Here it is. The Thunder are 24-1.
Ooh.
That was the round one, but okay.
But go ahead. That's round one.
We have to address the Thunder. They're 24-1.
The
Absolutely.
repeat champions.
They're on the brink of another historical run. Do the Thunder repeat, and also do they get more than 73 wins? Can they beat the Golden State Warriors record of 73-9?
I'll take that.
No,
Go ahead, John. Go ahead.
I'm. My knee jerk reaction is to say no, right? Because here's the thing: if they're going to chase the record, they're going to chase the record. And the last team to beat that Bulls record didn't end up with a championship. I think Billy Donovan wants the championship. You know what? However, if they get to the if they get
3-1 comeback,
if they get to the All-Star turn, right? If they get to the All-Star turn and they're sitting at 4 wins or less, then absolutely, then there's a strong possibility because I don't think that there's a team in the West that can beat them. And I think that they run roughshod on the East at this point in time. I don't think there's a team that matches up well against them. By the way, Chet Holmgren, biggest cheap shot artist in the history of cheap shot artists.
Okay,
he's getting away with it.
Though.
I like it. I like the forms in the back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take it. But yeah, right now they look, and this is of course barring any injury, right? Because injuries can happen, things can change on the court, right? Trades can get made, but for them, I don't see a team that is capable of beating them at this point in time. Their continuity is great. They're playing with swag. They're playing with moxie.
Mm-hmm.
Shea, J-Dub, you know what? They look absolutely unstoppable. The bench looks good. You know what? On top of that, with pieces missing in the lineup, without pieces in the lineup, they're just playing with it. They're playing with a different pace. They're playing with a different level of trust on the court, and they're having fun doing it. So, and they play for each other as well too.
That's pretty good commentary.
Yes.
I don't think. I think as far as that record goes, Michael. I don't know if you want it. I don't know if you want it. And I think there's records that you would want. I don't know if that's a record you want because it comes with a high bar. What's the point of having it and you don't win the championship? You know, I think that's a record that they may push hard for, but they may find out, like Golden State did, that it's an asterisk. And it's one of the ugliest asterisks you can ever have. Like there's asterisks where, you know, there's an asterisk next to your name. You fought Mike Tyson and you were talking a lot of smack and you got knocked out. And you were a good fighter. Okay, there's an asterisk next to your name, but you know what? You can come back from that. You know, you can fight somebody else and win a fight, a.k.a. Buster Douglas. But when you win over that many games in an NBA season, and you walk into the playoffs, and you do as Moses Malone said, fo, but it turns out to be fo for loss. I don't. I don't.
4, yeah.
All right, like I don't know. I don't know if you come back from that. I really don't know psychological if you come back from that. Can they do it? I think, yeah, okay. What is there a weak link in that team? That's my question. Is there a weak link in that team?
I haven't seen it.
And is there a point that someone in that team can be exploited?
Yeah,
defensively and offensively.
Like
the teams, right. The teams we're talking about, Golden State.
The water boy doesn't play.
Right. The teams we're talking about, Golden State and the Lakers, those teams. Let's talk about the players at that time. Kareem, Magic, Worthy. All right, that speaks for itself. Even the Boston teams that could have done it also. Bird, McHale, Parrish, they are like, you know, they're like Mount Olympus in terms of players. Right now, you're asking me to say SGA, J-Dub, Chet Holmgren. I would say J.
Harnstein.
SGA. Right. Chet Holmgren.
Harnstein.
Who's the other?
Hardenstein.
Hartenstein, and then and the other one, the who guards Ludort.
Yeah, and
You're
Dort.
asking me, right? You're asking me to say that that's a team that can go 70 plus wins,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
What, 65 last year, 66?
So here's the thing.
And run that thing in the playoffs. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think they want to. I don't think they want.
Here's the thing. I think that they're better this year, clearly in the beginning stages of the year than they were last year.
They were 68-14. 68-14 last year.
They look better. At least the eye test tells me that they look better now this year than they did last year. Normally, you would be like, well, there's a current team in place that could stand the chance of beating these guys. Like Golden State we knew that it was going to be a battle with LeBron and them. You know what? When Golden State was 73-9, right? We knew that they were going to meet, and you knew that they had a chance. Like LeBron and those boys had a chance. The thing is that I don't see another team that's currently playing together right now that has a chance.
Nope.
So I'm looking at it from the standpoint of even if you make a blockbuster trade, right? That doesn't guarantee a win because you have to still play together.
Yep.
And this team right now feels like it has all angles covered. Like I was looking at one of my friend's tweets, and he said, "Well, if you sent Giannis to the Spurs, right? Would the Spurs have a chance at beating OKC?" And my knee-jerk reaction was like, "Yo, Giannis is there," but I don't even think that helps. I don't even think that they beat OKC even with Giannis. If Giannis was to be traded to like San Antonio, I still think OKC is still that much better than everybody else. Like I think that if they chase the record, I honestly, Pop, I'll tell you what, if they chase the record and they get the record, if they're 74-8, whatever that circumstance is, if that's what they are, I say that they actually win the title, unlike Golden State, because there's nobody in the East or West that I think poses a real substantial threat.
Let me ask you something. Let's talk about this for a second. Char, what is so dominant about OKC? Like, what is it? What is the thing that makes them where we could say, if I said to you, what makes Golden State so dominant? You would say
their youth.
I mean, when Golden State was running off those championships, and they were, what was the thing that made them so dominant?
Their youth and their ability to play together.
But it was you had a young Thompson.
Yeah, Klay Thompson is a shooter.
He was a two-way player as well.
Then you had the ultimate weapon.
Yeah, the number one shooter, the number two shooter, and then you had the number one defender.
Right. So tell me,
far off.
Using that formula, tell me that formula. Go OKC. Tell me that using that formula, because if you use that formula, we could use that for the Lakers too.
No.
Use that.
No. First of all, that formula has expired. That Steph Curry formula is done.
OKC has?
The Lakers running off 70 victories had a similar formula. You had Kareem, Worthy, Magic. Okay. You had shooters, you had guys who knew how to play. Remember now, the game was different then. So why are you shaking your head? The game was different then.
Because we're talking about
that formula.
It's about pre-3-ball basketball.
Yeah, but that was the formula then. So the formula changed.
Your main triangle. Okay, wait. Everybody else around.
And they played through
let's go with the Bulls. What was the
triangle
formula?
Offense.
Okay.
MJ, best two-way player in the league. Scottie Pippen. They played an awesome defense.
So tell me, what's the formula? Because what I'm trying to get you guys to understand is that when I say this formula for doing this, because that's the Mount Olympus. When you start winning 70 games, we're talking about like, hey, that's nothing to sneeze at. But each one of those teams that have done that, we're naming the formulas. We're talking about.
Well, sometimes you have a new formula, though.
Yeah, but it is. It's the most dominant offensive. It is. It's the most dominant offensive player, along with the most dominant defensive player on the team. With the Lakers, you had one of the most dominant offensive players, and then you had a host of guys who were Chris Rambis. You had a bunch of guys that were dominant.
The Thunder don't have a lockdown dominant guy. They all play defense.
Okay, so
That's
what I'm asking
They
you,
all play offense and they all can play defense.
what they have is Pop.
what I'm asking
What
you
they
is,
have is
what John, what I'm asking you is, you're saying that formula is no more. What you guys are trying to say was that formula is no more, and I'm saying that it's still there.
Okay.
It's still
no.
there.
Okay, with OKC, this is what you have. OKC, you have the best, arguably the best player in basketball right now, and that's SGA. Okay, he was MVP last year. You know, conceivably, I can see him winning back to back.
MVP this year.
All right. Number two, you have a guy who could, if he really wanted to, could be top 5 in scoring, playing next to SGA as well too with J-Dub. Because I think J-Dub is masterful in the
third team All Pro,
in the half,
13 All NBA.
In the half court. Yo, J-Dub can get a shot. I don't care. Then you have a guy who basically is such a switch 3-4-5 and Chet that really creates mismatch problems because realistically, you know what, he has he has shooting guard ability with the ball in his hand, but he can still shoot. Plus, he's linky, he's tall. And then on the flip side, then you have Dort who can basically knock down an open three. And Dort, really honestly, can play 1, 2, or 3 on the defensive side as well, depending on who the matchup is, and some 4s. So you have a guy that is the ultimate switch off defender, and then you have a guy that basically you're switching with Chet, who is the ultimate help defender. Plus you got Hardenstein, who just is there to clean up the boards and play the the muscle role. So they have all positions covered, and they do it all well. The reason why I say like this mold is never been seen is because we've never seen a team assembled with like not all A talent, but I would say all solid B plus at their particular roles. Mm-hmm. Like everybody, like when I say no deficiencies, they don't have to have like a super big name. Like they do have SGA, but after SGA, the drop off is precipitous, right? You don't have like, a second guy that has like the name recognition, but their play on the field, on the court, speaks for itself. Yeah. J-Dub is walking 20 points. Chet is a walking 18 to 20 per game. Lou Dort is a walking 14. And basically, Hardenstein is a walking, double on the boards, 10 plus boards per night, plus good interior defense. SGA is a walking 20 to 30 every single night if he wants it. And then they have guys that come off the bench that know their roles and play their roles to the T. And Pop, you know what? They're not selfish. They're egoless. They're not playing as if they're not even playing angry. That's the crazy thing. They're playing happy right now. Like I've never really seen it like this before. So I mean, the sad thing. I'll tell you what. The sad thing is the fact that it's OKC and not a big market. If they were a big market, they would get tons more coverage. You know what? And we'd probably know a little bit more about them because they'd be prime time every night. Like if they were LA, forget it. Like they would be on television in China every night, let alone the United States. So
I'm not listen. I don't want to get this clear.
I'm
not knocking them. This is not a knock on them. This isn't a backdoor suggestion that they're of what they're not. My point making is that when we start talking about 70 wins in a series or 70 wins in an NBA season, we get over that 69 hump. There are a couple of things that start to stand out. Players, what they do. There's some things, and those things start falling in line with other teams that have also been at that precipice of winning 69 or 70 games. And this is not some random sampling. This is a mathematical equation. And since you are analytics, Mike, and you guys are analytics, let's look at the analytics of this. Let's take the teams that win this thing, that win that number of teams, or win that number of games in a season. Let's compare them together. Let's throw out the differences. Let's look for the similarities. And as I'm looking at OKC, I don't see the similarities that I would like to see. I really don't. I don't see them. Like, I don't see, you say to me, well, they're a lockdown defensive team. Cool. But when I saw the Chicago Bulls, excuse me, I just said the worm. Just say the worm. Lock down
I see what you're
defender.
saying.
Then at 2 guard, Scottie Pippen.
No, you mean
Lock
MJ.
down.
MJ.
Right.
MJ. Three
And
Scottie
then
Pippen.
for Golden State, this is when Thompson, this is when he was arguably the best on-ball 2-guard defender in the league. Klay Thompson at one time was arguably the best on-ball 2-guard defender
Well,
in the league.
I'll say he was the best
The
two-way
best
player.
switcher. Yeah, he was in
two-way player.
lockdown.
He wasn't,
Yeah, he was
but he
best
was one of
two-way
the
player.
better on-ball defenders
Yeah,
at
he
2-guard.
was.
But then he was also where he shined on defense and was really good. He was better on offense because normally that guy who can guard isn't a guy who can shoot. So
Yeah, that's why he was the best two-way player.
So
Yeah,
so you
absolutely.
say J-Dub, you say Shea. I go, okay, all right, I get that. But then when you start going through the rest of the lineup and you start saying other guys, I'm saying at what point have we consistently seen these guys be exactly what you say they are? And that they've been, is it 1 year, 2 years, 3 years? What is the point at which you're saying that
Some
this
of them
guy's
are
been
only
that?
2-year players. A lot of them are just like sophomores.
Well, that's the part where I'm saying to you that I don't see enough for me to be making that determination.
Right now, Pop, they're on pace to only lose 3 games this season, based on the record right now. Like legitimately, like they're on pace to lose 3 games this season. I know that sounds crazy, right? But when you're 24-1, right, at the start of the season, like, and they're not just winning, they're dominating, right? I guess the point is you're looking for a similarity. First of all, I can't find similarities between. There's only been 2 teams that ever win 70 plus games, Chicago Bulls and Golden State. So I can't find similarities between Golden State and Chicago. I really can't. They played completely different styles of basketball, completely. So what worked for Chicago, excuse me, what works for Chicago would not have necessarily worked for Golden State, because Golden State Golden State didn't have a triangle. Golden State was, you know what, Steph Curry shooting the ball from anywhere in the court, and they really killed you from behind the arc, with Draymond being the anchor on the defensive side. You know what? And defensively, you know what, they forced you to have to keep up with their pace scoring, right? Chicago was a little bit different. Chicago had, really honestly, when they had, I mean, this is a Ron Harper. I think Ron Harper was on that squad that won 70 games. I believe he was. Right? I think that squad was Harper, Jordan, Pippen.
Yeah, that was not last year.
Pippen, Rodman, and I forgot who the center was. Insert whatever guy.
Luke Longley.
So Longley, yeah.
Longley, okay.
So what I'm saying is that I just gave you 4 out of 5 names on that were top tier defenders, like MJ, top tier defender, Scotty, top tier defender, Ron Harper, top tier defender, big guard, you know what? And forget it, the Worm, you know what? Super top tier defender, you know what I'm saying? And they revolutionized basketball because they played a system of basketball that no other team played with, the triangle. Golden State played, you know what? The pick and pop behind the 3-point line, you know what? Dish to Steph, dish to Clay, and rain down threes. You know what?
A lot of Reggie Miller.
You've seen 2 different teams get to 70 wins, 2 different styles. I think it's conceivable to say OKC is just a different way to get to 70 wins because they don't play like Chicago. They don't play like Golden State. You know what? They play like themselves based on their personnel. And I think it's possible that me and you and everybody watching basketball is going to see a team win 70 games in a way that we've never seen a team win 70 wins before. Like that's
maybe because
you
have 3 guys, 3 all NBA guys who can create their own shots.
Yeah,
like Shea is the king of creating his own shot or getting to the line.
And he gets to the line.
J-Dub is a number 1B who can create his own shot. He averages 25 points and he can get to the line. And then you have Chet, who's a first overall draft pick. A lot of us forget that. So he's actually a person who you can build an entire franchise around. So we can't forget him. He's also good for 25, but like Jonathan said, anywhere 18 to 20. But what's What's their ceiling? Shea is 30 a night. Shea is 30 a night.
Anytime he wants it.
J Dub in the finals gave you 50. And Chet do you think Chet could give you 40 one night if he was hot?
I think if Chet
30,
Chet got hot, I think Chet could give you 35.
Yeah.
You know what? Without any question, I think
so
40
if they all had a magical night, when those guys had the magical nights, like Spider dropped 75, when these guys had
175 points in the game,
exactly,
175,
exactly.
Like why lie?
They're all the Thunder. They don't have a formula. What they have is they are blessed that they have 40 acres and a mule. That's what they have. Like, where do you want it? Seriously.
I listen. I'm sticking with my position, and my position with them is I think this is is finding Tutankhamun's tomb, the tomb of Tutankhamun. You've been looking for the pharaoh your whole life, and then you open the gates, and the thing that you find is exactly what you're looking for, and you also get something you never expected, or you didn't actually want. And I think when you after this kind of record, well, you're looking at a curse. It's a curse. It's a curse of the pharaoh's tomb. And I think this is a record that is this is a record that you need to be careful what you wish for on this particular record, because once it's done, at this point, there's no injury, there's no drop off, there's no had a bad game, there's no missed that free throw, there's no fumble that rebound. Because if it's not a championship, then it is the most pointless record in all of sports history right here. This is the most pointless record and in all of sports right here. This is the most pointless record. Golden State, by the way, when they lost.
That was Clay's fault. He opened his mouth to LeBron.
Well, whatever.
Yeah, we said that. We already said that, Pop.
But they were 24-0. They were 24-0.
They were 3-1.
Right,
they were on the verge of winning a back-to-back championship.
No, they started the season at 24-0.
Okay,
right.
They were 23-0.
No, 24. Golden State started that 2015-2016 season at 24. They set the mark. 24 games straight at the beginning of the season. Golden State set that mark. Right, and the thing I keep saying about that is, again, I saw a formula that every team that's ever come to 15 or 17 wins looked more like Golden State and less like OKC. That's just my position. I'm curious to see how far they go with this.
That's fine, because one of their losses came within the first 8 games when J-Dub was just still out. So they've been held there in a 10-game win streak, 24-1, and J-Dub's healthy and he's dropped buckets. And the Thunder are.
Listen. I'm
going to be one of the fastest NBA seasons ever.
Hey, is there a team that can do it? They seem like they're a team that can do it.
They sure can.
We'll see.
All right, chat. Go ahead and leave 1 in the chat if you think the Thunder are going to repeat. I think they are, so I'll push my 1 now. And put a 2 in the chat if you think the Thunder are fugazis, and they won't. And you can put 2 for that. Put Pops next to that.
Hey, put my name, put my number on that. Put my number on that. I'm saying no. Absolutely not. I'm saying no.
All right.